Hey everyone, welcome back. Today on To Be Continued With, I'm going to talk about an event that I attended this summer in my new hometown. And at this event, I'm going to tell you, I met a lot of interesting people and had an amazing time. Before we dive into today's episode, don't forget to help out the channel by subscribing, sharing, and hitting that bell for notifications. And as always, if you're enjoying the vibes, remember to share the love with my partner in crime, Catt the Legend, who is always providing nothing but the best beats to go with what we do here. Now, you know how it goes. Let's cue up that intro and get things started. Drop! With convention season being all said and done, I had the opportunity to make my way to the Wake Forest Comic Con in downtown Wake Forest in North Carolina. It's a great place that I get to call home now, and obviously when I first got here, I had to check out the local comic book shop, which just so happens to run the local Comic Con here. The shop is located at 149 South White Street in downtown Wake Forest. It's called Play for Life Comics, and it's operated by Brandon Wright, and it's a classic comic book shop with that classic comic book shop vibe that myself and so many others enjoyed as a kid. Keep in mind, Brandon and his crew at Play for Life are not only very knowledgeable about current comics and back issues, but are also the friendliest group that you will ever meet. This place is loaded with the latest releases, but also has a massive collection of back issues for the must-haves of those die-hard collectors, along with also having some great action figures and a ton of other collectibles. Now, besides being one of the first places that I walked into when moving to the area, it's also the reason I was able to attend the Wake Forest Comic Con. Now, for the last few years, Brandon and Play for Life have put together a con that I had the privilege to attend on August 20th this past summer. With over 30 vendors, a cosplay contest, and so many other cool things to check out besides the thousands of comics and figures that you would expect. Today's episode is my way of highlighting a few of them and a couple of the wonderful folks that I got to meet there. First up is a trio of creative guys that, like myself, originated from the Garden State. Travis Pyro Smith, Jerome Smith, and Elijah Simon. Three talented individuals with a lot of heart and drive and talent and love for what they do. What they do is create their own comic books. JTS Comics to be exact, home to Shadow Wolf. Now, Shadow Wolf is the story about a young man named Wesley who is haunted by nightmares that are pushing him to make a decision on taking his skills to a whole new level and making him think about defending and stepping up to protect his city. It's a mixture of superhero genre and horror, and Travis and Jerome are really pushing the cool factor way past 10. Other projects like Electric Tiger can be found at JTS Comics, but these guys have a ton of other content that you guys need to see for yourself. For example, Elijah Smith has a book named Solid and another named The Burning Fox that are really remarkable. Now, part of his Intense universe, these feature characters that utilize magic and stories about redemption. I can't say enough about this group of guys who are bringing their dreams to life for all of us to enjoy. So when you do have the chance and you're done checking out this video, please check out JTS Comics. They can be found on Amazon, so again, do yourself that favor. Now, we only had a brief conversation during the convention, but I would love to have them on To Be Continued With so they can get as detailed as possible about all of their projects. Next up, I had the pleasure of meeting Damon Batt, who is the official Transformers Expo artist. He's an amazing artist that is known for rendering those wonderful robots in disguise, and another 80s franchise that you may have heard of, G.I. Joe. As a matter of fact, you may have seen his work on the Hasbro G.I. Joe classified line. You can check out his work on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and DeviantArt, but I'll also have his information, along with everyone else that's being spotlighted on today's episode, in the description below. The best part about meeting Damon was the fact that instead of him handing me his business card, he provided me his contact info on an original Starscream and Bruticus drawing that you can see right here. Needless to say, the 11-year-old in me was smiling from ear to ear. Make sure you reach out to him for more info and check out some of his really cool artwork because he truly is a one-of-a-kind guy, and you can tell that he loves what he does. Damon is someone that I really want to get on the show because, like many others, I grew up on the 80s cartoons, and he really captures the essence of those toy lines and cartoons that I and so many others spent their parents' money on. Now, with so many great vendors and guests at this con that I got to meet, I obviously can't get all of them and highlight them here. So make sure to check out the next one when it comes around next summer. With that being said, I do want to cover and highlight the cosplayers because there were some really outstanding ones here. There were Green Lanterns, Sinestro, Hawkgirl, Wonder Woman, a Sith Lord, along with many anime characters, and even Napoleon Dynamite showed up. Now, prizes were handed out to group players, kids, and adults, and they did not disappoint. One of the judges was the mayor of Wake Forest, the Honorable Vivian Jones, and the event was held at the Wake Forest Renaissance Center in downtown Wake Forest. The cosplay contest was hosted by members of the Variant. Now, the Variant is a great group of people who cover comics, cosplay, and conventions. The Variant consists of writers, artists, and cosplayers, and photographers. First and foremost, they're fans. R.J. Marchese is the founder of the Variant, and the group has a love for any and all things comics. They really have so much to check out, so please do so, because there is no way I can cover all they do here. Their website is the/variant.com, and see for yourself, because what they cover is simply amazing and really fun. Everything from great movies, comic book reviews, amazing cosplay pictures, convention coverage. It's literally the place and group to follow to find out what's going on. Last but not least, I want to acknowledge Brent Dolls. If you're a fan of the classic Mego doll figures, then you need to see what Brent Dolls is all about. Custom figures in the Mego style, where you can get your hands on some great characters like Blackula, the whole Scooby-Doo Where Are You Monsters guys, and Jack Torrance from The Shining. He caught my attention with some customs based on the Rob Zombie Munsters characters that's currently on Netflix. The detailed work is second to none, and the throwback style of Mego is simply stunning. With that being said, I'll be reaching out to everyone I mentioned on today's episode so that maybe we can do a couple of spotlight episodes on them, but make sure you check out everyone's info in the description below, and be sure to follow them on their social media platforms, which I'll also provide. More importantly, make sure to be on the lookout for the next Wake Forest Minicon, because if you are in the area, you really don't want to miss out on all the fun and everything that they have to offer. Now, for those that are in the Triangle area, in North Carolina, Play for Life will be hosting a comic book club at Norse Brewery in downtown Wake Forest. Norse Brewery is a great watering hole owned by Lynn and Brad. So if you're into comics and want to drink some really cool beers, don't miss out. It starts on January 30th and then every last Monday of each month. I also want to shout out to Tanner Morris, who was stalking the con as Michael Myers. No, not that one. The real Michael Myers. Since he took pictures with everyone, and he really embodied the babysitter killer to the fullest. With that being said, it was a great day, and I met some really great people on this day. And even though I have to wait another year to attend, I will say that this channel is still going strong, and that, as always, this isn't the end. It's simply to be continued with.